Okay, gotta talk about J-Lo and Ben. What's their name? Balo?
Affleck? Wait, what is it? Balo.
It is
Definitely
Balo?
not Affleck.
Oh, Bennifer.
Bennifer. I like Balo.
I came up with that one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so all the attention on his honeymoon with Jennifer Lopez, I guess, is just a little bit too much for Mr. Ben Affleck. According to Page Six, Ben was a little freaked out with all the paparazzi following their every move in Paris and compared it to all the attention around the late Princess Diana. And while Ben is used to the attention, he still gets upset with being photographed all the time. The proof was in the photos. Jen usually looks great. Yep. Into it. Ben, not so much. Photos of him sleeping on a boat also went viral and quickly became the stuff of internet memes. What do you guys think about Ben being, Jeff, upset about the paparazzi, but then given that he's married to Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, listen, I think the paparazzi goes a little hard on Ben Affleck, right? And I think everyone has different sets of rules. That's just what we have to start expecting in society as different people. Everyone wants a fair playing field. That's never going to happen. Ben Affleck famously came out as having an alcohol addiction, but yet the media still follows him and portrays him in a terrible light. You don't see any good pictures of Ben Affleck. It's him passed out. It's him looking fat. It's him having a cigarette. It's all terrible pictures.
Right.
Jennifer Lopez is all beautiful pictures. They don't put her in a different light. But when some people come out with some sort of addiction, all is forgiven. But not Ben Affleck. And that just kind of stems throughout Hollywood of how different people are treated. So I'm not here for it.
I also have to say that, like, at first I was like, come on, Ben Affleck, like, move on. You're an American celebrity. But in Europe, the paparazzi is just so much more intense. So I do feel bad for him a little bit.
Yeah, it's an emotional. We have to, when we look at situations like this, we have to understand there's always emotion tied to it. When I was in New York earlier this week, I was talking to my business class. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, "I can't believe that an actor, I'm not going to say his name, hasn't been canceled yet, and he's an attractive actor." And I was like, "Do you think it's the fact that he's attractive?" And she was like, "Yeah." She said yes, and her friend that was with her was like, it was a real honest moment. She was like, yes, when you are liked by people, whether it's the way you look or the way you make people feel through your music, the paparazzi is going to treat you different. Hollywood will treat you different because that's a narrative that you're pushing out. But if somebody goes, this person's toxic, and we all decided we don't like this, every news story, if they want to get clicks, is going to be like, oh, Ben's at it again. Yeah. Oh, so and so's at it again.
Aggressive to the paparazzi.
Yeah. So I mean, this is definitely an attack on him, and as long as he realizes it, hopefully he can process a little bit better.
Good discussion. I love you, Al,
I love you
so
too.
much. Okay, so Lisa Kudrow is speaking out about the lack of diversity on her show Friends, which ended nearly 20 years ago. Speaking to the Daily Beast, Lisa said the show's two creators, who are white, had no business writing stories about the experiences of being a person of color because they were writing the show from their own perspectives. Lisa previously said that if the show were to air today, it would not be an all-white cast. Yeah, you've told me, like, you don't watch Friends, right?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a thing. Yeah, but Friends was like, I put all this in that whole, like, it has nothing to do with Friends or Seinfeld. That was like Al's traveling new comic. I don't know anything from that era. I don't know what was happening. I don't remember anything.
You don't remember it.
But, honestly, like, I look at that and I'm glad. I think people forget how things were kind of pre-internet. There wasn't as much crossover. Like, if you try to make Friends now and make it look like that, it would look crazy. It wouldn't look culturally inclusive because that's not how the world looks now. I wrote a screenplay about 4 black men, not because I'm culturally inclusive, because that's who was with me on my tour. I wrote a children's book about my son who's autistic, not because I'm, sympathetic to just that situation. It's what I know. So you write what you know. So I don't have a problem with them doing this, especially 30 years ago when we wouldn't have any frame of reference for it.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time, and it keeps getting brought up, and they keep asking the cast of Friends this all the time in every interview. It's like, you can't go back and retroactively change anything from 5 years ago, from yesterday to 50 years ago.
What the Buddha said.
You can't.
Yep, that's true.
Well, the Buddha's got to enter the conversation at some point.
Yes.
So here he comes. But I'm just saying, it's like, we just keep saying the same thing over and over, and it wouldn't look like that today, right? Even if I wrote a story about all my friends, right? You'd make some of them diverse and you'd let it be, show more cultural integration, right? So it's like, we can't go back and change that. But if we could, we would. But we can't now. but we'll talk about it
Especially
next
the
week.
actors.
What does the Buddhist say?
The Buddhist says he likes boundaries. No, I will say this. I agree with both of you, but if I were a girl, person of color, Asian, disabled, there was no one representing me on that show. Even when they did shots of New York, it was like Manhattan had no people of color. So I appreciate that that's true, but bringing it up and saying, man, that could have been better, I appreciate that comment retroactively. I know we can't change it, but I appreciate that people probably felt really left out of that iconic piece of Americana.
Wouldn't we also go back and change Girls Gone Wild? That was on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't we go back and change the Hugh Hefner show where a 95-year-old man was kissing 20-year-olds in the mouth, and we were like, cool, nice job, E. Are you kidding me? Like what was on television? The Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston, yeah. So let's if we want to start going back retroactively, let's start with where we should start.
Good.
Sorry.
Wow. Yeah. But it does show growth.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It does show
Absolutely.
growth. Yes. Okay, so Kate McKinnon says she felt ashamed, quote unquote, when she broke character on SNL. Kate recently left SNL after 11 seasons. She told Vulture magazine there was something unprofessional about breaking character, but sometimes it was just too fun. Kate was known for breaking from time to time, like on this sketch during Weekend Update with Colin Jost. But she's not alone. SNL cast members and hosts have a long history of breaking in the middle of a scene. Watch.
You know, we all can't be brainy like Fern here.
But we may never know how many people perished.
You know what, Debbie? You are totally ruining my trip to Disney.
Moonlight, La La Land, you're both right.
He's just that good to me. Sorry, Carl, you gotta go.
This is why I got into this business, specifically from outtakes in movies when they show outtakes. And I was just like, they look like they're having the most fun in the whole world. And it's my favorite thing about television is the outtakes.
I agree completely. And what's funny is I did improv forever and ever and ever. And Lorne Michaels famously says, don't break character. He really dislikes it. So when it does happen, it's that much more special. But you're supposed to be committed. If I'm a raisinette or a pirate, like you are supposed to be in it. So the Debbie Downer one is by far my favorite.
No, I'm a Stefan guy. That's my favorite character. And honestly, if you after you get done watching DBL, go to YouTube and watch just news bloopers and see how many views those have, because whether it's them interviewing somebody that's extra or just themselves laughing at a story, it's these little moments of humanity we never get to see on television because everything is so scripted.
Right. Except for here.
Just to see a real laugh from somebody that's always buttoned up, it's like we kind of need that.
It's the best. I always remember the cowbell skit with your guy, Christopher Walken.
Seems like you always remember it.
Will Ferrell had his belly out.
Yeah. I got a fever.
Can somebody else tell Sam our favorite memories?
I pointed to him. Oh my God. I'm tired.
It's this late night comedy show.
How about when Tori was in Macbeth as a raisinette?
Yes.
No.
And it was raisinette. It was like whether I'm a raisinette or a pirate.
Because it's hard to break character when you're a raisinette.
In improv, you're supposed to be funny, but also stay there.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so a posing expert is going viral on TikTok with her tips on taking the perfect selfie. The expert says we should all say goodbye to the duck face pose, which is favored by celebs like Kim K. Instead, she had tips on making a better sultry face on social media. Take a look.
So one way to do this is by saying apple. So you want to say it in kind of a whispery, seductive way. You don't want to go apple. That's not cute. You want to go apple. Let me show you how it looks. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, there's a bit of space and it's just pouty. It's another alternative.
That one?
Okay. Yeah, that's how your mouth is supposed to be relaxed in a good sultry way. If you say it right before.
Some teeth.
Yeah, ready?
Okay, commit.
Apple.
Okay. Jeff,
speaking of breaking.
All ready? Apple.
Ew.
That was good.
Dude, I committed.
Mine's going to be, if you didn't like that, apple.
Oh, that was good.
I like this shit.
I tried. All right, Sammy. Serious.
Be serious about it.
Come on. Apple.
That was good. That was good for a hot second. You just got to hold it.
Where you went.
It was like she tasted it.
Okay, if we say apple doesn't work for you, don't worry, there's more. The expert has another tip on looking sexy in selfies. Watch.
God.
The second way you can get a perfect pout is actually the way that the Olsen twins get theirs, and that's by saying the word prune. So again, you don't want to say it harsh, you don't want to go prune. You can either focus on prue, or you can focus on the ending of the word, like prune. Let me show you how it looks. So there she is, that's prune.
Sure.
It's the same picture.
Same picture.
Okay, but maybe it'll be easier to do pruned.
Am I in this camera or this camera? This one? Okay, you ready?
That's the one you've been on for 5 years.
Stop. Yeah. 3, 2. Prune.
That was really good for the first beat.
Okay, the end was too hard.
Like, whoa, still
Okay.
photo,
Good.
model.
Okay, all right.
All right, I'm just going to do the beginning part.
Okay.
Prue.
Oh, that'd be good. That's a good
was
three.
good.
Yeah.
That looked
That
like
was good.
you smelled something bad.
Oh, like pew?
Oh, maybe.
Pew. Hold on, do it another one.
Do it.
Pew.
All right, I'm going to be serious.
Okay, take it real.
Prune.
Yes! Ow!
Dang.
You are so...
He's still in it. He's still in it.
still there.
I'm shocked.
That's professionalism, people.
Okay.
Okay, take that. Can we get sexy music, maybe? No, here we go.
Okay.
You got this, Sam.
Okay. Don't smile. Okay. Okay. Prune.
You were there. You were there. Yeah, you were there.
One more.
Okay.
You got this.
Prune.
You were never there. You were never.
The first one was better.
Yeah,
The first one was better. Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to do full disclosure on this.
Yeah.
I looked up on YouTube a couple weeks ago.
How was yours so good?
I don't think it's that good.
You were
Committed.
Good. It was good.
It was the eye contact.
I looked up how to pose on YouTube because I had no idea. Like I feel silly when I pose. I'm not good at
Yeah,
it.
you need
And I look at
angles.
Yeah, I didn't-
like you and I do this a lot, and you're supposed to be like.
Right, I can't. I'm not
What'd you
good
learn?
at taking pictures. Okay, they were saying for men, they were saying like take a picture where like, especially if you have a jacket on, like you're kind of messing with your cuff a little bit, like your watch.
Candid. Mm-hmm.
Candid. You take one where you're like you are kind of buttoning your top a little bit, and then one where you're straightening your tie.
So
and
you're just
it
dressing
gives you a
yourself?
couple. Yeah, it just gives you a couple because I didn't know like where to put my hands.
But those
you do
are-
one in the pockets.
Those are like modeling photos, right? So you take a modeling photo. When have you ever in real life been like this?
I know that's.
And I've taken.
I think for like regular.
It's not even a real pic. I'm like, why am I holding my?
So back in your modeling days, what was your go-to pose?
All those.
Yeah.
All of them.
Did you already know
the
those?
tie? Yeah,
Yeah.
the tie with the look away.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
There
mean?
you go, yeah.
For sure. And then this for no reason, and then definitely the button one.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, it's still in there.
The button look away and then get the jaw going.
You look like you're falling over.
See what I mean? But none of those are
You were
natural.
rubbernecking, like there was a crash.
Yeah, I was like, prune.
I always think you should say something very funny right before and turn your head. So
Let's
if
see.
I say,
Nailed it.
schmoogaboo, instead of like,
Yeah, I do like the first one better.
yeah, you gotta have some motion to it.
Okay.
You see Michael Dean just walked out.
Yeah.
He's so